Hey there, and welcome to this explainer. If you're a 7th grade explorer just stepping into the world of language learning, well, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're looking at your ultimate roadmap to navigating a brand new language and culture through the Foreign Language Chinese program. We are going to specifically zero in on the insights from Unit 01 Lesson 05, which is all about a really crucial culture misconception check. We're going to decode this entire HSK pathway, figuring out not just how to speak a language, but how to truly connect with the communities that use it. So get comfortable because we have a fascinating journey mapped out for you today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First up, the big question. Second, the toolkit. Third, the terrain. Fourth, the milestones. And finally, your next steps. Section 1, the big question. Beyond just vocabulary.
Because let's be real, learning Chinese is much more than just memorizing characters from a textbook or flipping through flashcards. It's really an exploration of humanity. Ask yourself, how does language actually connect culture, identity, and community? When you learn to say hello in Chinese, you aren't just swapping out an English word for a translated one. You're learning a totally new way to present your identity to a massive, vibrant community. And this is exactly where our misconception check begins. You know, it's super easy to think language is just some code to crack, but it's actually a bridge to understanding how other people live, how they think, and how they interact.
And this slide brilliantly illustrates the shift in how we learn today, moving from simple translation to true cultural connection. The old way of learning was basically all about translating words, word A equals word B. But the new way, the path you're on right now, is all about using language for real-world tasks and intercultural communication. It means you aren't just learning what to say, you're learning when to say it, how to say it respectfully, and understanding the deep cultural context behind it. It's about equipping you to actually operate out there in the real world.
Moving right along to Section 2, the toolkit, the ACTFL 5 Cs. So, your essential survival gear for exploring this new linguistic landscape includes 5 official world readiness standards: communication, cultures, connections, comparisons, and communities. For our Lesson 05 focus, let's really lean into cultures and comparisons to do a crucial misconception check. Okay, so there is this super common but totally inaccurate belief that one single Chinese-speaking culture represents all Chinese communities, but actually, it's incredibly diverse. For example, think about how you might respectfully greet an elder in your own home. Now, let's compare that to an evidence-based scenario of how it's done across various Chinese-speaking communities, where you might notice distinct shifts in tone or different body language entirely. Here's a quick check for you. If you are analyzing why a greeting is slightly different in Beijing compared to Taipei, which of the 5 Cs are you using? Well, if you said cultures and comparisons, you hit the nail on the head. You're actively comparing practices to grasp those subtle cultural nuances.
Section 3, the terrain, choosing your course path.
Looking at the course directory, you'll see it offers a long, continuous journey mapped out for grades 7 through 12 learners. You've got the standard progression from Chinese I all the way through V, but running right alongside it is the HSK pathway, which builds your capability over time. So you aren't just taking a bunch of random classes, you're walking a very deliberate path from beginner foundations up to advanced, globally recognized HSK levels. This is a long-term terrain designed for true mastery.
Section 4, the milestones, the HSK proficiency map.
So what actually is the HSK? Well, according to the official HSK 3.0 standards, it's a, quote, national standardized test focusing on the ability of non-native speakers to communicate in life, study, and work. Notice what it doesn't say there. It doesn't test your ability to memorize a dictionary. It is all about your applied capability in real-life, practical, everyday situations.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the 9 levels of the HSK 3.0 system group into 3 distinct stages of mastery. Levels 1 through 3 are all about basic communication for daily life. Levels 4 through 6 step things up to fluent communication for work and study. And then, levels 7 through 9 represent the absolute pinnacle, precise communication for academic and professional fields. Let's look a little closer at each of these 3 level-ups.
Starting with the first milestone, covering HSK levels 1 through 3. Level 1 starts with your basic survival language. Steadily building up, by Level 2, you're communicating across life, study, and work. And by Level 3, you're achieving effective, daily interactions in those environments. You're no longer just surviving the language, you are effectively engaging with it every single day.
Then you climb higher to the second milestone, HSK levels 4 through 6. And wow, this is a massive leap. Level 4 requires complete and coherent communication. Level 5 demands accurate and appropriate communication specifically geared for work and academic scenarios. And level 6, that's where you achieve really rich, smooth communication across the workplace and general professional scenes. At this stage, your toolkit, those 5 C's we talked about, is fully activated. You aren't just speaking, you are navigating complex intercultural nuances with absolute ease.
Finally, we reach the peak of the mountain, HSK levels 7 through 9. This is for the most advanced explorers. Level 7 is standard and fluent. Level 8 is appropriate and in-depth. And level 9 is the ultimate goal, precise, in-depth communication across professional and academic fields. When you reach this level, you possess the capability for the deepest intercultural communication and professional engagement. It's a long, awe-inspiring journey from 7th grade for sure, but this map proves that the summit is waiting for you if you want to climb it. Which brings us to Section 5, your next steps. So the crucial point is really why this matters.
We've talked about massive frameworks and a multi-year course directory today, but your journey actually happens one single lesson and one misconception check at a time. It happens today, right now, by realizing that this language is your literal key to an incredibly diverse world. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Which of the 5 C's will you use first in your real-world tasks? Are you going to start by improving your communication? Or will you dive right into cultures and comparisons to shatter misconceptions and explore the beautiful diversity of Chinese-speaking communities? The toolkit is right there in your hands, and the milestones are waiting. Where will you take your very first step? Keep exploring, keep comparing respectfully, and have a truly fantastic time on your journey to fluency.